The last night of the year, Amina's phone would not rest. A WhatsApp voice note was spreading through her market group. From tomorrow, if you don't have tax ID, your bank account will stop working. They will start taxing everybody. They will even increase VAT overnight. Amina stood in her stall in Kano under a warm lantern glow, wearing a red patterned hijab and a simple embroidered kaftan. Around her were sacks of rice, baskets of peppers, and customers trying to rush last-minute shopping. She stared at the voice note like it was a threat sitting inside her phone.
Voice note, they threaten me like NEPA bill. I beg, who send that?
Her profit was small, but her responsibilities were big. Rent, school fees, and helping her younger sister. What scared her was not paying tax. What scared her was sudden rules she didn't understand. Hundreds of kilometers away in Lagos, Kunle was stuck in traffic inside a Danfo bus. The yellow buses that move like they own the road. His work ID hung on his neck. His phone buzzed with the same voice note. Kunle earned a salary, but his pay barely lasted the month, so he did weekend delivery runs for extra money. Kunle sighed and typed in the family group, "Amina, don't panic. Let's confirm this thing first." Then Chinedu replied. Chinedu was Kunle's close friend from NYSC, now running a small online business in Enugu. He sold clothes and gadgets. He was the kind of guy who could explain phone specs like a teacher. But even he sounded tense. "People are already saying we must change invoices for VAT," Chinedu wrote. "And some are saying it will start watching bank transfers like CCTV. Amina didn't reply. She was already walking to the bank the next morning. Inside the banking hall, the air felt heavy. The line moved slowly. People argued in low voices. Someone said, "My transfer failed yesterday." Another person said, "They want to punish us." Amina held her deposit slip and waited. When she got to the counter, the cashier asked one simple question, "Madam, your tax ID?" Amina blinked. "I have BVN. I have NIN." "Which one again?" The cashier pointed at a notice on the wall and repeated, "Tax ID." Amina felt heat rise to her face. She wanted to explain her life story, but the queue behind her was growing angry. She stepped aside and called Kunle. Kunle answered with the tired voice of a man who had slept late and woke up earlier than his problem. "Kunle." Amina said, "They are asking me for tax ID like it's something everybody keeps in their pocket." Kunle exhaled. "It's not only you. My bank app has been pushing update your tax details. I ignored it. This morning my transfer failed." Chinedu joined the call. "Same here," he said. "Vendors are warning about new VAT rules. And my customers are already scared of price increases." For a moment, the three of them were quiet, not because they had nothing to say, but because the fear was doing its job. Then Kunle said, "Let's call Baba Idris." Baba Idris was the calm person in their lives, a community accountant, the kind of man who could turn a confusing policy into plain words. He joined the call a few minutes later, sitting on his veranda in a simple ibbata. Beside him was a small tray with kola nut and a wooden cup. He listened to the voice note once. Then he said, "Okay, we will remove the noise and keep the facts." Amina leaned closer to her phone. "Baba, tell us the truth." Baba Idris spoke slowly. "First, the new tax reform laws are meant to start on January 1st, 2026. That part is real. Second, people are spreading VAT fear, but the VAT rate is not changing overnight. The rate stays 7.5%, even though there were earlier talks about increasing it. Third, some things are actually getting relief. The list of items exempt from VAT is wider now, including basics like food, medicine, school books, tuition fees, and some electricity-related services. Fourth, there's a strict side. People who are taxable will need to register, and filing returns becomes more serious. This is where tax ID comes in. Amina frowned. "So, why are banks acting like police?" Baba Idris did not dodge the question. Because the new rules push the system to link people properly. Tax ID becomes a key identity for many financial actions. Also, banks are expected to report large monthly transactions to the tax authorities. Chinedu sat back. That's why people are already saying they will stop using banks. Baba Idris nodded. Some people will try to run back to cash. But fear can make you make expensive mistakes. Kunle rubbed his forehead. So what should we do as normal people? Baba Idris gave them 3 steps. Simple enough to follow even when stressed. 1. Get your tax ID if you are a taxable person, especially if you run a business or earn income outside salary. 2. Keep basic records. A notebook is fine. Track what you earn, what you spend, and save proof for bigger payments. 3. Separate your money. If you run a small business, don't mix everything in one account. If you have side income, don't pretend it doesn't exist. Her back. Life was going on, but people's heads were full of rumors.
Amina looked outside the bank through the glass doors. The street was busy. Hawkers moved between cars. A woman in Ankara tied her baby tighter on her back. Life was going on, but people's heads were full of rumors. That evening, Baba Idris held a small community session. The hall was simple: plastic chairs, a standing fan that didn't help much, and the low hum of a generator outside. Men came in kaftans. Women came in ghillie and wrappers. One elder sat in front wearing coral beads and holding a carved staff, quiet but watchful. Baba Idris drew a straight line on a whiteboard and wrote 2 words: relief and enforcement. This is the balance, he said. Some people will pay less or pay nothing because the system tries to protect low earners. But the system also wants people to register properly, report income properly, and stop hiding. A trader raised her hand. So why are prices already rising in the market? Baba Idris answered calmly. Because some people are using new tax law as an excuse to overcharge. That is why knowing the facts matters. Amina listened like her rent depended on it, because it did. She also realized something else: confusion was becoming a business. People were selling fear for free, and others were using it to raise prices. The next day, Amina went to register for her tax ID with 2 women from her market row. They wore matching Ankara, not as fashion, but as courage. When they returned, they didn't feel rich. They didn't feel safe from Nigeria's problems. But they felt less helpless. Kunle updated his tax details and got his transfers working again. He started tracking his delivery income, not because he enjoyed it, but because he preferred order over surprise. Chinedu cleaned up his invoice process and separated his personal savings from his business cash flow. He stopped telling himself small money doesn't count, because small money adds up, and rules often start from the small people. On New Year's Day, Amina opened her stall. A customer whispered, "They said VAT is now bigger." Amina shook her head and said, "No. VAT is still 7.5. Don't let anybody confuse you." Then she did what she had never done before. She explained what she learned, in plain words, to the next trader beside her. Not like a lawyer. Like a woman trying to survive in a country that changes rules fast. And that is what the new tax law means for ordinary people: some relief, some pressure, and a lot of confusion if you let rumors guide you. The biggest danger is not tax itself. The biggest danger is moving in fear, instead of moving with facts.